Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual because today's Friday. Got to get down on Friday. It's basically customary to say at this point, despite the fact that Rebecca Black's song Friday came out 12 years ago. That's my guess. Hold on, see. Rebecca Black Friday, 2011. 13 years ago. Okay. Oh, almost right. I don't really know what I was going about, to be honest, but anyway. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, 6:08 PM on Friday, January 26th, 2024. I still don't remember. Oh, today's Vivian's birthday. Happy birthday, Vivian. I still don't remember whatever the conversation topic I was going to talk about was. So, you know, that's somewhere up in the ether. It's in limbo. I don't know. Out of reach. Outside, out of mind. And in the infamous words of Kelly Clarkson, I would say, shut your mouth. I just can't take it. No. Again and again and again and again and again. Okay, stop with the song references. Actually, speaking of song references, you know, Has Been Hotel. Apparently, it got released on Amazon Prime, which I didn't actually know that, like, it happened. I don't know if it's like a serial release or if it's like fully released or something. Like, I don't know. But if you don't know Has Been Hotel, it's basically like created by creator Vivsy Pop, who is like a reasonably on internet famous, I suppose, animator who, you know, she's most well known for this like music, like animated music video she did of like Kesha's Die Young or something, which was really big in the animation scene, not online animation scene, I suppose, like ages ago or whatever. And she, like, eventually, like, I don't know exactly the full story behind it because I wasn't really following, but Has Been Hotel was like a cartoon or like a animated show that she wanted to create, and then like she got funding for it. Basically, she's making it reality, which I'm going to say very admirable and very awesome. And not only that, like there's like a spin-off series as well, which got like an online serial format called Hell of a Boss, which I've also heard is pretty good. And in me fashion, I've not watched any of the videos, but I have listened to all the songs. Because the songs, I don't know, the songs tend to be the sort of thing which actually, now I think about it, sort of, what's the word, lure me into actually watching a series in the first place. Because rather, most of the time, I'm not sure complacent is the right word, but I'm like resistant to actually watching series. I say the sort of time is because I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I don't particularly want to commit to watching like a long series or something like that. I don't know. It's something. It's a mix of it being like long and also the fact that you don't really do anything in a TV series, which is like I don't know. I think I probably like tickles something in my brain to be like, wow, this is like an inefficient way to have fun, which doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. But I don't know. That's neither here nor there. I've sort of gone on ad nauseum about the fact that I tend to not really watch TV series or anything like that. But yeah, where was I going with this? So apparently Has Been Hotel has been released on Prime Video. Like Hell of a Bus has 2 seasons. I don't know if the seasons are completely complete. And I've been following along with the music, at least in Has Been Hotel. Most of it. I don't remember all of it all that well. The one that gets stuck in my head is the House of Asmodeus and the like cotton candy. That one. What other ones from Hell of a Bus do I know? There's a few. Okay, no, like I had to actually see the names, otherwise I'm not going to remember. There's one which is FU essentially, sung by Blitzo. In my mind, his name is like Mammon, something like that. Whatever the devil or demon of greed is called in Dante's Inferno. I don't even know where it's from necessarily. Hell of a Bus song. Just Look My Way. I did listen to it. I don't remember it. Clown Batch, because we don't swear here. I do know that one. Which has a very killer line, which, you know, one of the comments rightfully pointed out or so is something like, money can't buy happiness, but it can rent you paradise. Money can't buy happiness, but it can rent you paradise. Well, look at this. Look at this I also listened to. You'll Be Okay I also listened to. But those aren't the ones which ended up sticking in my head. I guess I didn't listen to probably all of the songs. I listened to like the main ones, you know, because in every show there's always the songs which are like sort of like insert songs, which are just kind of like there for like to fill up 30 seconds or like the progression of a plot. Those are like fine or whatever, but I'm here for the ones which songs which could stand on their own. Songs which could stand up on their own as like actual songs, even if they have a story context around them in the first place. But anyway, so where was I going with this? Is that Has Been Hotel? I don't know how many episodes are out, but you know, there's a few songs surrounding that which have been cropping up on YouTube, and I mean that's like I don't even think I'm subscribed to BBC Pop. Maybe I should be, to be perfectly honest. Maybe I am. Spindle Horse. I'll subscribe to you. Why not? Like, and I've not really been watching these sort of things, but even I was recommended the song Poison, and it's not the song which goes poison, poison, poison from like one of the GTA games or something like that. You might be like, how do you know that? I don't even know how. No, I know that because of that that a cappella show, the sing off, whatever it's called, about Pentatonics starred in. One of the other bands covered that song. And it goes, that girl is poison. And then I just remember one of the rappers going like, poison, 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 poison. Anyway, that's not how this song goes. This song is like some like retro dance track or something. I don't really know like the lore behind Has Been Hotel or anything like that. As far as I know, it's this like princess demon is like it's hell itself is getting like too full of sinners, so by trying to solve an overpopulation problem, she's making a hotel for has-beens, hence the name, to like redeem himself. That's what I know. Okay, hit rocks, boosters, customize. We can do all those. And I'm trying to remember how the song Poison goes now, because now I can't think of it. Now I can only think of poison, 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 which is not. I can remember the verse because another brother love to cash in. Those red hot eyes, it's feeding me your red hot lies. How does it go? Hold on. I'm going to remember it organically. This is the worst part where there's a song which is catchy and you know it, but you just can't remember it. Those red hot eyes, feeding me your red hot lies. I can't remember. What's the worst part of this hell? I can only blame myself, 'cause your love is poison, you're serving poison. I made my choice and I don't know. I will say Angel's Dust has a very interesting I came in here but I forgot to get you anything. Vivian, I will come back. Wait for me. I will come back for you. Full Metal Alchemist reference. I haven't even seen it. I just know that scene because it's like been memed or something. I think it's Full Metal Alchemist, right? I don't know. I was going to describe it when I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like a huge spoiler for the show. So I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't. I know it's also like really old at this point. So probably if you're like avoiding spoilers, it's sort of like a moot point at this point. It's like, well, I don't know what the statute of limitations is for spoiling something. But anyway. But I mean, it's not like unheard of for me. Like I'm sure one of my friends who might be watching us, so they certainly know this, as a distinct quirk of mine, I suppose, is that I tend to listen to songs, especially like animated, not just animated show songs, but actually songs from loads of random shows or whatever. If it's got like an insert song or something, a song which ends up standing on its own, I will randomly know it because I've just like listened to it at some point. It's sort of like the way, you know, some people like to read like a plot. Not synopsis. Not synopsis. What's the word? It's a plot. Maybe it is synopsis. I can't remember what. Not like a summary of a plot, but like a brief introduction to a plot or whatever. If they're trying to decide, hey, should I watch a show? Should I watch this movie or something? Will I like it? Will I not? You know, they read the like synopsis, and the setting, etc., and be like, okay, let's decide on that. For me, I don't do that. I suppose it's not necessarily the ideas which do it, but you know, songs can make or break it. Because I don't know. I guess in my world, songs tend to be one of the best ways. Not necessarily the best ways, because I'm sure there's much more smooth ways you could do so. But I think it's one of the most interesting ways to sort of illuminate a character or a plot point or something in a show. Obviously, it's not always going to be befitting depending on the medium, I suppose, you've chosen, but. It's the sort of thing where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. For me personally, that's my jam, baby. I thought they always had 2 people as part of a birthday party. I might have just misremembered. So you might be like, does that mean you've watched all the Has Been Hotel songs and the the Head of a Bus songs, and you were like, it's not worth watching. No, actually, this is just like straight up me being lazy, to be perfectly honest, where it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is worth watching, and then I just like haven't watched it. I don't know. I think it's probably because TV shows end up like at the bottom of my list of priorities when it comes to like entertainment or media. You know, video games, unsurprisingly, tend to be near the top, and then it's probably like something like drawing, and then I don't know. TV shows end up like surprisingly low down. But the songs, you know, I don't know, music makes its like appearance much higher up or something like that. I will say, like, the thing I was saying before about sort of like I don't know necessarily what the right terms are. I don't think insert song is the right term, but there is a clear distinction. I personally feel like with songs which were created to be a song within that. No, it's not the right way to put it. To me, there's always like two types of songs when it comes to like these media properties, I suppose, in the first place. One of them being a song which I described it as standing on its own, but that's not necessarily the case. But then there's also other types of songs which don't necessarily stand on their own. And I guess what I mean is when a song is too interwoven within the actual story, plot points, or universe, or wherever the song takes place in, that's a song I tend to not like as much, you know, as the other songs which stand on their own, you know. I guess what I mean is whether the song can sustain a story by itself is how much I end up liking it or not, you know. Like, to give you an example, Poison. Actually, it's not a good example because I can't think of a counter example from Husband Hotel because I haven't listened to the songs which are just random insect songs. But like Poison, you know, from Husband Hotel, it's a song which stands on its own. It tells of a story, you know. It tells of like you know, toxic relationships and stuff like that. Like, I don't know the full story, but you can kind of like infer what's going on. I mean, I don't think it can get any more straightforward as Your Love Is Poison. Something like that. It feels like it doesn't. Maybe we should call this like I don't know. No, let's come up with a term. Like insert song should be what the other one is called. It's like a song which is inserted in the story. No, maybe this should be called insert song because this song can be independently inserted into a story, but it's more like a song with the same themes as whatever the story is trying to cover, and thus it can like be taken out of the story and still preserve the storytelling aspect of it. But then other songs, which I feel like musicals tend to be like quite I was gonna say like what's a word, like guilty of doing this, but I'm like, it's not like a sin to do it or something. It's just what ends up being my preference of like song to listen to. It should be like insert songs and interwoven songs, maybe. Like one of them you can just like Poison, you can just pop in, like you can take it out and you can put it like in, probably you could put it like in any other sort of similar story with a similar character who goes through like a toxic relationship or anything like that, and it would make sense, you know. I think one like with key points is there's no giveaways that I can think within the song, which is like this has to be sung by this character from this franchise, you know. So those tend to be like, I guess, a flexible songs maybe is what versatile songs versus curated songs. Maybe that's what I would say. So like these versatile songs tend to be the ones I tend to favour because I don't know, I guess singing them out of context of the entire story surrounding it tends to be pretty good. You know what's a better example? Encanto is actually probably a better one. Like, I like the Encanto soundtrack and that sort of thing, but I think there's a reason that something like Surface Pressure ends up being one of my favourite songs compared to something like All of You or Family Madrigal is like probably the best of like the curated songs. Like, maybe curated's misleading. Maybe it's like storyline songs. Versatile versus storyline songs. No, insert versus storyline songs probably makes more sense. Let's just do it like that. I don't know. I'm making up 1,000 terms. I would never be a very good linguist. So the insert song of like Surface Pressure, you know, it's a story about Louisa and her struggles with pressure in general. And of course, you might argue it's kind of like a storyline song because there's so many themes about being strong and stuff in it, and you know, Louisa's superpower is super strength, etc., etc. But I would say that the way it's used in the song feels like an abstract theme more than it necessarily feels like I'm literally like lifting things up. I mean, it makes sense because Louisa's whole superpower is like a theme on her character in the first place, right? But then the song like All of You or Family Madrigal are very much like storyline songs. Like, they only make sense in the context of a universe of Encanto being sung by Mirabel, and all of you is kind of sung by the entire cast. Like, Mirabel is literally singing about her family, the Family Madrigal. Like, you can't just pick that story, you can't pick that song up and just put it in another story. Like, the other story you had to put it in has to be about the Family Madrigal, has to be about these exact family members with these exact same superpowers, etc., etc. So that's what I mean. Like, it feels like a musical song where it's sort of like illuminating the plot. It's illuminating this particular plot. But the thing is, while I love the song, it's great. It's not like, for some reason, I have like this internal blocker in my mind where like it can't reach top tier status for me because it's not a versatile song. It's not like an insert song, because I can't like sing it without context of something else. Like, Surface Pressure like makes sense to sing without context. Like, it could be, as I say, it can be about anyone figuring out the pressures of the burdens, I suppose, of like supporting your family or something like that. You can argue there's a little bit of like storyline interweaving in there, like the fact that it has to be sung by someone who is a sister to someone else. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I can't fit in, but there might be more lines in it which, you know, mean it needs to be like rooted within a story, so the like Encanto story surrounding, but things like that, it doesn't necessarily. And a similar thing to What Else Can I Do, which, you know, despite the fact it's like obviously about Isabella discovering like the rest of like what her flower power can do, it still is kind of used as like a thematic theme to the song in the first place. You know, it paints a story on its own rather than like being rooted within, it has to be Isabella with her own flower power singing it, you know. There you go, there's Rook. So yeah, I don't know, like there's a distinction to me between those two types of songs, which is why I tend to sort of like judge something based on like the insert songs, the versatile songs they have in their media property. If I listen to it and I'd be like, yes, this feels like it'd be applicable to other sort of things, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I like it. But I mean, that's why I like the concept of image songs, which I think I spoke about before, is like a concept taken from like most often Japanese media properties, where like characters get songs representative of their struggles and things of their character, you know. That's why I tend to like ensemble casts, which is why like Project Sakai, you know, as I say, it tends to be my sort of flavour of the month right now, or well, flavour of the years. I don't know, because each of the events tends to focus on one of the characters, and the character tends to get a song surrounding their event, their character, and the troubles they face in it, you know. And I always find it very intriguing, you know, the way you can illuminate things and that sort of thing, in that sort of way. And all of those songs tend to be like insert songs because they were originally created to be like insert songs. They weren't necessarily created directly for, I mean, they were created, I suppose, commissioned for that story, that event which is going on, but it's like they're not strictly tied to it, you know. Like, I don't know, my favourite song ends up being Gekko, which means moonlight, and in the story, I actually don't know the story for that one, so maybe that's not the event story for that one, but it's about a character who struggles with like the fact that it's not quite imposter syndrome, I suppose, but the fact that he has to work so much harder, I guess, than everyone else to achieve the same level of like ability, etc., etc., and he feels, I guess it kind of feels like a fraud. Don't at me, Akito fans, because I don't actually know the entire story. That's like the kind of vibes I get. And then like the entire song is basically about that. It's about moonlight, you know, moonlight. It's reflecting the sunlight, basically feeling like the moon, being like you're only shining because of someone else's like shining, you know. It's like a song sung between two people being like, why can't I be like you, or something like that. The falsehoods of like fake talent or something like that. That's not a good one because I don't know the lyrics to that one all too well. Well, what's a better one to think of? I'm trying to think of one I actually read the event story for, but most of them I've only read like summaries of. I haven't actually read all of them. I haven't like read the story in its fullness. Maybe Infinitely Grey is a better one. It's about like how, I don't know. It's hard for me to put these into words. I feel like I just have like general vibes about them. But it's that sort of thing. Anyway, insert song. Well, maybe I should actually look up. Does insert song actually mean this? Define insert song. It's a song or lyrics that's inserted during a certain scene or show of a series, usually done to give a scene more emotional impact. I wonder if they have this in TV shows. Do they have this distinction between like an insert song and a song which is like feels too interwoven within the story to be separated from it? That's basically the concept I'm trying to get at. Very common in anime. So true. Let me say, image song. Here you go. Films, animation. Little Mermaid. One Dance. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here because what am I doing? So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.